Hello everyone, my name is Cossar. I'm Artistic Director for the Melbourne International Film Festival. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we live and work, and also to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which you, our audience, is watching. I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. MIFF celebrates the history and contemporary creativity of the world's oldest living culture. It is Tuesday, July 14th, and right now you are not sitting inside a cinema. Right now, the algorithms of streaming sites are quietly conspiring to auto-playlist you cooking shows or dating shows or shows where people cook while on dates while their ugly pets are being made over. Your plan to make homemade choc tops fell apart after social media turned on your sourdough starter. Right now, your significant other has the remote. I make light, but of course, right now the world seems to break at the seams. It overflows, and there is danger and sadness and strangeness and anger within us and others, and that is a lot to absorb. There is a lot to reckon with. There is the substance of troubles all around us, those springing forth from the present day, and those dug in from long ago, breaking light. Around us, there are also the same inspirational words on television, on Zoom, in print, repeated like catchphrases, applied like a band-aid, rolled thin, a positivity made elastic for different sizes of chaos. By this time, between real trouble and those who speak to it, we've now all lived to see the unprecedented use of the word unprecedented in public life, that is for sure. So I will start by saying this. We hope you are safe. We hope you are well. We are glad you're here with us. We are glad to be here with you. And I want to tell you, in the middle of everything, MIFF's radical act is this: to keep doing what we do. This is MIFF 68 and a half. MIFF 68 and a half is what, unexpectedly, comes between the 68th and 69th edition of the Melbourne International Film Festival. It lives online, it lives on your TVs, in your devices, on the screens from your space. What we present to you now does not have the scale of a regular MIFF. It does not have the cinema screen. It does not have the wafting scent of someone who brought their own sauerkraut to the cinema with them, sitting one row behind you. But MIFF 68 and a half has all of the heart. It has all of the passion for filmmaking and for storytelling that Australia and the world can bring us. And now, like last year and like next year, is the perfect time to keep celebrating that. Our mission as a festival is to bring you the story of the world, surely a more distant and disconnected place in 2020, regardless of what form that now needs to take. With MIFF 68 and a half online, we have the opportunity to remind ourselves at the most crucial moment that art's compelling properties, to see beyond ourselves, to inhabit the imagination of others, to cultivate a spark of response and an inspiration within us as viewers, remain exactly as they always were. This is what 2020 vision looks like. For right now, there is so much to talk about for us all, and at MIFF this year, as always, there is so much to see. Welcome. We are so grateful for the kindness, the ongoing support, the new support of those around us. Thank you to the Victorian State Government, to Film Victoria, to City of Melbourne, Screen Australia, to all of our sponsors, to those individuals that have provided such generosity to us. Susie Montague, we thank you for your extraordinary contribution. To our Year 1 MIFF Circle members, thank you for being amazing, and thank you for being part of something amazing from the ground up. To many others who have made a decision to personally support us, I can't tell you how grateful we are to you. I'd like to specifically thank our partners at Upbank, powering MIFF's ticketing this year. Be sure to sign up for an Up account to access generous ticket discounts and other special offers. Importantly, I would like to thank and acknowledge the hard work, the film smarts, the general and bridal talent, and razor-sharp, steely determination in the face of complication of our board, our management, all our staff, my programming team, all of whom jumped headlong and face first into a very unique MIFF this year. Let's begin.
Hi, I'm Mira Folks. I am very, very excited to be an ambassador for MIFF this year and to be a part of their inaugural online film festival, MIFF 68 and a half. The team at MIFF have asked me to give you my top 3 picks from the festival program. There's a lot of great stuff in there, but I am particularly excited to see Kelly Reichardt's new film, First Cow, Women Make Film, which is a documentary on female-led cinema, and especially Wendy, which is the much anticipated follow-up to Beasts of the Southern Wild, which is a beautiful film by Ben Zetlin. I'll also be doing a Q&A with Ben as part of the festival program, and I hope that you can all join in to have a look at that. It's sad that we can't all be sitting in a cinema watching films together, but on the bright side, I get to enjoy the festival virtually from sunny Queensland. I hope you all have a really fantastic MIFF and enjoy the movies.
Time to escape your home-style track pants vortex, get ready to roll out the red carpet from your hallway all the way to the lounge room, because MIFF 68.5 will this year present 113 works from all around the world and will connect you to incredible filmmakers and creatives through Q&As and talks and events, adding a few surprises along the way. For the first time, we are so excited that you can come to MIFF online from anywhere across Australia. We welcome all our audience nationwide, from Frankston to far north Queensland. I know some of you out there have been told previously to stay away from Victorians, but I hope you will make an exception for us. We have friends in high places as well this year. I'm pleased to announce our festival ambassadors for 2020, an extraordinary range of creatives from within and outside the world of film who will be with us to blaze a trail through the program, providing their picks, dropping in along the way to host events with filmmakers. We are delighted to welcome them all. This year, we present a number of program spotlights. These are the biggest films of the festival, our online gala and headline presentations, which will roll out at specific session times right across the festival. To our opening night, presented by Shandong, I'm pleased to announce the Australian premiere of Kelly Reichardt's First Cow will launch the festival online this year. A gorgeous, revisionist Pacific Northwest Western, a story of frontier friendship amid some dangerous baking and proto-capitalism, Reichardt's film is nothing less than a gift for ardent lovers of cinema. Resonant, full of quiet beauty and observation, a wonderful film from one of the most important filmmakers working today. I'm pleased to say that Kelly Reichardt will also join the festival as a virtual guest, and will be presenting a Q&A with her as well.
Hi Melbourne, thanks for having us. Yeah, we're glad the movie's playing there, and wish we could be there with you.
What's your name?
King Lou.
You call me Cookie. My mother died when I was born, and then my father died. I never stopped moving.
It's the getting started that's the puzzle. No way for a poor man to start.
You have a cow.
First cow in the territory.
This ain't a place for cows.
That's no place for white men either.
I sense opportunity here.
Good Lord, give me another.
I'll give you 6 ingots for that last one.
I taste London in this cake.
We have to take what we can when the taking is good.
It seems dangerous.
So is anything worth doing? A royal cow.
She barely produces a thing.
Some people can't imagine being stolen from.
And Soapy's one of those. We got a window here, Cookie.
History isn't here yet. It's coming, but maybe this time we can take it on our own terms.
As centerpiece, we're thrilled to announce visionary director Ben Zeitlin's long-awaited follow-up to Beasts of the Southern Wild, Wendy, an Australian premiere. 8 years since Zeitlin won the Camera d'Or at Cannes and rode to critical acclaim at the Oscars with his feature debut, he returns with a radical reimagining of the Peter Pan story. It's a film that sustains Zeitlin's incredible gift for working with young actors, a film that surges with adventurous abandon and looms with the peril of both impending adulthood and our self-destruction of the planet around us. And Zeitlin's singular vision brings a kinetic, rollicking sense to this iconic story that could only have come from him.
the voice in your head? The one that said, sneak away.
Crazy? Wendy, wait!
Here's the place it came from.
We're underwater! We will never grow up! Never!
So began the legend of Peter, the boy who would not grow up. Want to fly? We can fly. Really fly? Fly! Tell Mama I'm just staying a little longer. And tell her I miss her and I love her. Beware, children. You can leave yourself behind. You won't even know when it happened.
This is where lost boys go when they're really lost.
All children grow up. But some, the wild ones, the ones with a light in their eye, escape.
In closing night, we announced the Australian premiere of Emma, the new film from Pablo Larraín. Set amongst the world of reggaeton dance, a husband and wife, played by Mariana de Garolamo and Gael Garcia Bernal, are in agitative domestic freefall after the social services removal of their son. Emma is a visual and visceral experience like no other, controlled drama erupting between some killer dance moves and a very large flamethrower. Larraín's film is precise, modulated, alive with colour, sound and movement in a way few are. After the film, we'll see acclaimed Australian director Justin Kurzel in conversation with Pablo Larraín for MIFF.
Nunca me va a dar un hijo. Un hijo de verdad.
Yo te di un hijo. De verdad. Tú lo tiraste por ahí.
Así que es tu culpa, Gastón.
Si mi cuerpo es real, mi lengua es real.
Es tu culpa que no hayamos podido soportarlo.
Le quemó la cara a tu hermana.
Y es tu culpa que a mí me duela todo el cuerpo.
Yo no bebo ni...
Y es tu culpa que la gente nos mire en la calle como si hubiéramos asfixiado a un perro con una bolsa de plástico.
Vamos a estar bien tú y yo, ¿no?
Estamos bien.
¿Sí?
Sí, estamos bien. No necesitamos nada. La gente nos quiere.
Sí.
Mío.
Vaya a volver con tu hijo, ¿verdad?
Sos que debes ver entre tu cuerpo y el mío.
Es lo correcto, ¿verdad? Por supuesto. Si necesitáis que cometamos un crimen, nos llamáis.
Debes ver.
Vamos a estar cerca.
Zorra.
Mamá Emma. Yo la amo a usted.
No puedes hacer lo que quieres.
No me vaya a dejar solo, mamita. Me voy a asegurar de que nunca se te olvide lo que él te decía.
Cuando tú sepas lo que yo estoy haciendo y por qué, te vas a horrorizar.
¿Por qué esperar? Horrorizan ahora.
Hi, my name's Justin Kurzel and I'm an Australian filmmaker. Melbourne Film Festival was a huge inspiration in my life, and being part of that accelerator program in 2005 just really gave me an amazing amount of inspiration to kind of keep going and to keep trying to make films. And I made a lot of friends around that time, a lot of filmmakers that are making films today that I'm still in touch with. But it's really the environment of seeing films in Melbourne in winter, eating at all those great restaurants and drinking at all those great bars and just talking about great films But I'm very excited this year that it's still going on and that we're going to be able to see films in our own homes. I'm down in Tasmania this year, so it's great. I won't miss out. I'll be able to see what the program is. I'm very fortunate this year, and then I'm going to interview Pablo Larraín, whose latest film Emma is playing in the festival, and that'll be a really interesting conversation, as I'm a huge fan of his work. Also looking forward to seeing the remastered film of Dingo, Rolf de Heer's film, which I saw many years ago, and it had a huge impression on me. So I hope you enjoy the festival. It's amazing that we can still get to be part of it, and I look forward to interviewing Pablo.
To our other program spotlights, from Australia we welcome Ali and Abby and Ali's Dead Aunt, presented by Upbank. Taking love life advice from a beyond-the-grave lesbian activist Cupid begets some tricky situations in Monica Zanetti's quirky, delightful and big-hearted coming-of-age rom-com, as 17-year-old Ali struggles with coming out, asking her classmate crush to the formal with some ghostly assistance.
I'm putting it out into the universe that I did not just like a post from 6 months ago.
Doing school, Captain?
Nothing, just going to class.
Lunch.
Yeah.
You know those people who make fun of you because you drink almond milk? It's not my fault I'm lactose intolerant.
I'm gay. You're such a bigot.
That went really well.
How'd you feel if a strange woman showed up in your bathroom claiming to be your dead aunt?
Let's bring it in. Coming out is hard, and I have been sent here to help you through it.
What about grandchildren?
Oh, come on, shut up!
Here is a list of conversation topics. I'm making this a big deal, and it's not a big deal.
What is on this note?
Don't be such a
No. This is ridiculous. We used to talk about everything.
So your mum has never told you about how you died?
I get this is all really new and exciting for you, but it's not for me.
What did you say this story was like? A car crash that you couldn't look away from. All you have done is make me feel different. Different is wonderful. Shut up!
You might not be at that age yet where you realise your parents are just human.
I just want what's best for her. I want life to be easy for her.
As program spotlight, MIFF presents Boys State. Amanda McBain and Jesse Moss's documentary is hands down one of the best of the year. A crowd-pleasing, political... Let's pause to think, how often do you hear those words being used together? Coming-of-age story that sees young people in a Texas-based leadership conference wind their way through the alternating gutters and idyllics of faux election. It's a hilarious, knowing story of finding your voice. It's a film brave enough to suggest the political divide we see in front of us every day in agitated terms may not, in fact, be a chasm too deep, spiky, and troll-laden to cross. It is a film that deserves to sit alongside the great political documentaries. After our screening, we'll be thrilled to be joined by some of the film subjects for a Q&A.
I will skip the part where I brag for 3 minutes about how great and cool I am, seeing as we are all qualified young men of skill and character. People like that stuff.
Sounds good, yeah.
People like that stuff a lot.
Some people say they're a sports junkie. I say I'm a politics junkie.
The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph.
I'm playing this like a game. I would like very much to win. I love it, boys. I love it. Where are you from?
I come from a very modest family.
I'm on the course to be the first one to graduate from high school.
I'm a progressive person, and I'm in a room full of mostly conservative people.
Our masculinity shall not be infringed.
I've never seen so many white people ever. I feel like everybody has this secret underlying need for bipartisanship.
A message of unity, as good as it sounds, is not winning anyone any elections.
primary polls are now open.
Get yourselves ready for a turbulent election.
Whatever happens, dude, best of luck.
You win, I support you fully.
My name is Steven Garza, and I'm running for governor.
This gets applause because...
As to the political views voiced in my speech, sometimes you gotta say what you gotta say in an attempt to win.
I think he's a fantastic politician. But I don't think a fantastic politician is a compliment either.
We're gonna do shock and awe. It's gonna be awesome.
I want y'all to take out your phones and go on Instagram. Everyone, come on.
Oh my God.
Will we show the world what patriots are made of? That when things get tough, we pull ourselves by our bootstraps. One nation, under God, lovers of the Constitution of the United States of America.
That's politics, I think. That's politics.
We also welcome Johan Johansson's last and first Man in Program Spotlight. Johansson was one of cinema's definitive contemporary composers. After scores for films such as Sicario, Arrival, and The Theory of Everything, a talent gone too soon. And we are proud to present his only film as director, a brooding black and white sci-fi odyssey built from the spectre of Soviet brutalist architecture and narrated by Tilda Swinton as a hyper-evolved human from 2 billion years in the future. I mean, who else are you going to call for that, really? Johansson's film is striking, gorgeous, smart sci-fi, resonant for our days. We are pleased to welcome a special tribute performance to Johansson from Melbourne Symphony Orchestra musicians prior to the screening as well.
Listen patiently. We, who are the last men, earnestly desire to communicate with you. Astronomers have made a startling discovery, which assigns a speedy end to humankind. We can help you, and we need your help.
In Lawrence Michael Levine's Black Bear, screening in Program Spotlight, psychodrama and metafiction collide alongside a career-best performance from Aubrey Plaza. Co-starring Christopher Abbott and Sarah Gaden, what starts as a comedy of awkwardness distorts and darkens until the very concept of pulling the rug out from underneath the audience is itself rug pulled into an accomplished puzzle box collapse of art and artist. Do not miss it.
Hello, Melbourne. It's Aubrey Plaza, and I just wanted to thank you all for showing my films at your festival. Get ready. Black Bear is a nightmare of a film. It was a nightmare to shoot. I bled, I cried, I almost died, but I did it all for you. Australia. I wish that I lived in Australia. Quiet, bird. The fuck kind of animal is that? Please enjoy Black Bear. Sleep tight.
MIFF stands in recognition of the extraordinary traditions of Aboriginal storytelling. We act to support and amplify the voices of Indigenous artists and filmmakers and to connect talents of Indigenous storytellers to audiences everywhere. In MIFF 68 and a half this year, we feature a collective of around 30 filmmakers. Caribbean Film Collective have established themselves internationally as an extraordinary voice for Australia and for cinema. We are delighted to present their new work, Day in the Life. Politically potent, propelled by music, thoughtful and resonant. In a world premiere one-off special preview screening, Stephen McGregor's Looky Looky, Here Comes Cookie, also the best titled film in the festival in my humble opinion, is a new songline for now, a response and resistance to the Cook arrival and anniversary, featuring MIFF ambassador Stephen Oliver and a showcase of extraordinary Indigenous musical talent.
Hi, I'm Stephen Oliver and I'm working with MIFF this year as an ambassador for the digital film festival MIFF 68.5. Why? Because they asked me and I thought they could do with some sexiness. See? Now, there's so many great films, and as much as I'd love to be in Melbourne with you all, I'm going to have to be joining you from Brisbane for obvious reasons. Now, if you don't know what those reasons are, I don't know what else to say other than I'm excited to premiere my latest project, Looky Looky, Here Comes Cookie, which looks at Cook's journey through an Indigenous perspective, utilising some of our deadliest singers and songwriters. I can't wait to share it with you all and see what you think. As long as it's constructive. Like, if it's angry and hateful, then yeah, I can wait. Like a long time. Like, longest time. Like, proper longest of the long time. Anyway, stay sexy and have a sexy MIFF 68.5.
Elsewhere in the program, we recognise the talent of First Nations people within international productions such as the moving Quebec Inu's coming-of-age story Kwesipan, alongside Maya Derin's acclaimed The Fever, a story built around Brazil's indigenous Tisana community. As ever, we look local and celebrate some of our gifted Australian directors. In the world premiere season of Joanne Brechin's hilarious Geelong Shot Paper Champions, a mild manner photocopier salesman finds his life is as blank and meaningless as the A4 paper that log jams his days and steps out to find love and reclaim his lost mana. One word of warning, do not mess with the wrestling stylings of one Gary Sweet in this film.
I hear congratulations are in order. Ray got himself a promotion.
Ray's working in a top office. You get more money, eh?
How does that make you feel, Ray?
So moving up in the world. Hello, Ray. Hello, Ray.
I quit.
Not many people have the courage to quit when they have nothing else going for them in life.
Some people are born great. Some achieve greatness. And then there's me. There comes a time when you realise who you are.
What a day to be alive.
I'm still working on it.
We're gonna find your mana.
Your
mana.
If I was gonna find my mana, I had to surround myself with it.
Mana? It's about charisma, power. Now you find your mana, which you lack severely.
Are you sure about this?
Now I want you to close your eyes, Ray. Trial by fire.
And that fire is me.
Okay, let's have a look. You keep eclectic company. So, is this dance happening? It's on Friday.
You don't need anyone to teach you how to dance, but it is up to you. Grab the bull by the horns. She likes you.
I want this.
Louder!
I want this! I always saw my life turning out a little different.
Good one, Ray. Yes, Ray!
Not better, or worse.
You're the man.
I'm working on it.
We're gonna do this together. Hey, I've always had your back. Haven't I always had your back?
You ate my lunch.
The Meddler. In the midst of Guatemala City, where 98% of homicides go unsolved, Sydney-based director Alex Roberts and co-director Daniel Leclerc spent 7 years weaving an intense nocturnal portrait of German Cabrera, a real-life nightcrawler, as Cabrera trails the darkest corners of the city's crime scenes with camera in hand, capturing the aftermath to Ansel, reckoning unexpectedly with criminality as it draws close to his own family. The Plastic House. Alison John's plaintive and thoughtful and precise study of a life imagined beyond her parents' passing is both gorgeously lyrical and patient, and a fascinating emerging voice in Australian cinema. The Leadership. At a time where ensuring the integrity of science has never been more important, Ili Barre's documentary brazenly and commandingly takes apart the structural discrimination that women face in STEM fields, amidst a homeward-bound trip to Antarctica by 76 female scientists that is about to turn all kinds of rocky. The Letter. Co-directed by Kenyan-based husband and wife team Maya Lakau and Australian-born Christopher King, this eye-opening doc takes on the consequence of extreme superstition, following a grandmother accused by a family of being a witch as her dedicated grandson attempts to defuse the problem across his relatives. It's a film with a gentle, resilient heart and the connections it finds amidst a unique and troubling issue. From Australia to all corners of the world, in Bassam Tariq's Mogo Mowgli, Riz Ahmed does nothing less than command the screen, drawing on his own hip-hop background to deliver a role as a British-Pakistani rapper undone suddenly by an illness that forces him to confront the dynamics of family, home, and identity. Vitalina Varela, described alternatingly as a ravishing masterpiece and a film that will enter the heritage of world cinema, Pedro Costa's Golden Leopard-winning film at Locarno now arrives at MIFF. A vision set to mesmerize at the crossroads of light and shadow as the titular woman discovers the husband she has traveled to Lisbon to confront is now gone too soon. Sweet Thing. Celebrated American director Alexander Rockwell returns with a lucid, tender-hearted and arresting tale of childhood joy persisting amidst trauma, the winner of the Crystal Bear at this year's Berlinale. In Accelerator alumnus Kazak Rowonsky's Anne at 13,000 Feet, a young woman emerges through free fall in more ways than one in a claustrophobic, unfettered, and utterly convincing portrait of someone not quite emerging into adult responsibility. Servants. Consciences complicate and church and state clash in unexpected ways in 80s communist Czechoslovakia and Ivan Ostrakovsky's strikingly tense sophomore feature, playing out as a breed of supremely confident church noir. Wet Season. Anthony Chen's follow-up to his Camera d'Or-winning Ilo Ilo finds a thoughtful take on Singaporean class consciousness, filtered through the taboo transgressions of a female teacher falling for her student. Exile. Co-starring Tony Erdmann, Sandra Hüller, the judgments of others play out across a Kosovan immigrant's sense of self, as the thousand cuts of daily microaggressions, alongside some out-and-out menace, mount paranoically in Visa Marina's Haneke-esque thriller. La Llorona. Jairo Bustamante's celebrated film delivers a political work of horror, speaking through Latin American folklore to confront Guatemala's genocide of indigenous people. It's a film with more on its spine than jump scares, one that knows how to truly haunt. No Hard Feelings. The winner of the LGBTQI-themed Teddy Award at this year's Berlinale, Faraz Shariat's film is a vibrant, vivid, and energetic take on the intersections of ethnicity, sexuality, immigration, all bound up momentously in a love story between a German-born Iranian exile and refugee. And I don't think I'm overstating things to call this film one of the most insane experiments in the entire history of cinema, Dao Natasha. A film built from a near 4,000 square meter set in the Ukraine, casting over 350,000 people to live the full character life of a faux Soviet setting 24 hours a day, resulting in 700 hours of footage and 13 feature films. It's been dubbed in production by some a real-life Stalinist Truman Show. Shot on 35mm and the winner of a Silver Bear for outstanding artistic contribution at this year's Berlinale, Dao Natasha is, to put it directly, it's a troubling film. It's one of extremity, one that will come with a number of very necessary warnings for viewers, but it's also one impossible to shake in the scale of its vision. Now let's take a look at the trailers for Servants and Anne at 13,000 Feet.
Okay. Hey, yeah. What are you doing this for?
Ever since we went skydiving, I just want to be really high up. Kind of didn't feel scared at all.
Go. Awesome.
You work with kids?
I work at a daycare.
We gotta be role models for these guys, okay?
How do you two meet?
We met at Sarah and Jeff's wedding about a month ago.
Okay.
You are now queen of the world.
You feeling okay?
I want to work up until being able to go by myself.
Hands all the way up. Perfect.
Did you tell them that we were only casually dating and that it's not as serious as you said it was in front of them?
No, I didn't say that to them. You feel the lift off the ground, and you feel the plane climbing into the sky.
What can I do for you? Because I think you're in trouble.
You're upset. Just no.
Do you need to go talk to somebody?
And you're just hearing all this rushing air. You just hear. And then they pull the parachute and it goes.
We are pleased to present several retrospective titles brought back either by restoration, activation, or being lost and completed for the very first time. In a special collaboration with Speak Percussion, Djibril Diop Mambedi's Senegalese classic Hyenas, a film which sees a long excommunicated woman return to her village to test the morality of those who vanquished her, will be recut and completely rescored by a collection of incredible percussionists. The Rescored project will screen for free, although tickets are limited, and your ticket will also get you a stream of the full restoration of Hyenas. We also present Rolf de Heer's brilliant Dingo, a jazz odyssey also featuring Miles Davis, premiering in a new restoration at MIFF 68.5, also streaming to limited capacity for free. And Raul Ruiz's lost first feature, the enigmatic The Tango of the Widower and its distorting mirror, rediscovered and reconstructed by his widow Valerie Sarmiento, will also be presented. Now, if you've forgotten what the outside world looks like, it's time to reacquaint yourself with MIFF's annual documentary highlights. Some Kind of Heaven, produced by Darren Aronofsky, 23-year-old Lance Oppenheim's film paints an alternatingly delightful, forthright, and somewhat surreal portrait of those going grey and going large in a Florida retirement land designated as a Disney World for the elderly, and the more complicated realities of aging that lie beneath. Shalini Kantai's Coded Bias talks to the often invisible forces that surround and apply judgment to our daily lives, the tech of everyday algorithms, law enforcement, surveillance to reveal the systemic bias and social currency that the technology we take for granted is based on, built from, and thrives from, dissuading the very idea of tech neutrality in a fascinating think piece for our times. Produced by Insecure's Issa Rae, TT the Artist's Dark City Beneath the Beat presents a rollicking portrait of the Baltimore club scene that dances the documentary form through the dynamism of an epic music video. It's a blast of energy sure to turn heads and provoke lounge room dance-offs.
Growing up in Baltimore is crazy. People die young here. People get misguided very fast too.
I done seen a whole lot walking on these sidewalks. I done seen a whole lot walking on these sidewalks. I done seen a whole lot walking on these sidewalks. Walking on these sidewalks. Yo, fiends online, waiting on that crack pipe. Who gonna save them from hard times and dark nights? 5-0s and POs, they only bring you strife. I'm just trying to blow my trio, just let me get my life.
Baltimore club music, it's like a rush, raw, energy. It's everything, it's emotion. In Baltimore, you have to fight for respect. We dance in the streets because we don't have anywhere else to go now.
Jane Magnuson's Maddie the Model follows the exuberant Madeline Stewart all the way from Queensland to the catwalks of New York Fashion Week and beyond. As a supermodel with Down syndrome, Maddie and her mother Roseanne work for inclusion, work to challenge perceptions of beauty, work for change within the heights of the fashion industry from the inside out. In the Gaverny document, Single Channel, screening in split presentation with Caribbean Film Collective's Day in the Life, Jatovia Gary poses a simple and direct and profound question to black women in Harlem, young and old. Do you feel safe? Spinning outwards to delivering a dazzling experimental mode of inquiry about resistance and the strength of black womanhood in America and beyond. The Go-Go's, Alison Elwood's definitive take on the trailblazing band, will require you to lounge room karaoke your way through Carlisle & Co.'s formidable punk-to-pop past. Meanwhile, Maya reveals a political portrait unlike any other as it follows Musa Hadid, the charismatic mayor of Ramallah, as he navigates a singular storm of deep-dive day-to-day geopolitics amongst enough bureaucratic absurdity to fill a series of the thick of it, in a verite doc that knows that comedy and tragedy are parts of a political whole. In Prayer for a Lost Midden, spanning out dreamily in monochrome from a lost and found office at the Montreal Metro, Jean-Francois Lesage's film starts with the little things that people lose and ends up reckoning with the very idea of loss itself. It's a beautiful and thoughtful piece of filmmaking that will make you take stock of what matters most, if you can only find those damn keys, which I think are probably under your couch.
Hi, my name's Stanislava Pinchuk. I'm an artist and I'm so happy to be a MIFF ambassador this year for MIFF 68.5 from the pleasure of my bedroom, being an inconsiderate viewer. I've just had a look at the program and I'm so excited. So I've decided my 3 picks are Atlantis, which is a film from eastern Ukraine, where I'm from, set kind of imagining the end of the current civil war. I'm really excited for Code Bias, which speaks to my tech brain really well, which is about sort of the difficulties and systemic racism of facial recognition technology and the human rights abuses around that. And for a break, I'm really excited about Margiela in his own words. Martin Margiela has been a huge influence to me as an artist. It's actually really influenced the way that I think about my work. So from August 6th to 23rd, I can't wait to get into all of them.
Elsewhere, the worlds of activism and resistance feature. 9 to 5, the story of a movement. From the Oscar-winning directors of American Factory comes an authoritative portrait of a decades-long social struggle, originating in the 1970s from a wave of female office workers determined to address the glass ceiling, pay equity, and all parts of a male-dominated corporate culture that sought to dissuade their equal way forward in the workplace. Hong Kong Moments, Bing Zhao's on-the-ground documentary portrait of 7 people on all sides of the umbrella demonstrations is a fascinating, upfront and beyond the headlines plunge into a movement and into mass political confrontation. Welcome to Chechnya is a film of necessary intensity and discomfort, and for me one of the most essential and moving documentary experiences of the year. From Oscar-nominated David France, we follow undercover activists as they work from inside Chechnya to smuggle people out in the midst of its terrifying LGBTQI purge. Let's see a trailer.
Скажи, пожалуйста, насколько критична ситуация?
Дело в том, что мой дядя узнал про мою ориентацию вот недавно. Он в любом случае меня убьет.
Аня, мы приедем. Мы начали получать первые сообщения из Чечни о том, что в Чечне происходит массовые задержания геев.
Мы можем поехать, поедет с нами чувак, доедет до какой-нибудь с нами станции, как только я вышел с метро, двери закрылись, и больше ты в России не был.
I wanted to ask you about the alleged abduction and torture of gay men in the Republic.
Это ерунда. У нас таких людей нету.
И практически сразу было решение принято о том, чтобы людей спасать, эвакуировать.
У нас не было такого опыта. Нужно же людей скрывать, нужно их искать им визы, какие-то пути тайные, вывоза из страны. Бегом.
Все, у меня, короче, паника начинается.
Не буду тут искать. Я это прекрасно все знаю.
Я не буду делать все, чтобы это никогда не всплыло. Изменить ситуацию может только человек, который прошел эти пытки и заявит об этом публично.
Я буду делать всевозможные действия, чтобы заткнуть меня.
Back to the drawing board, we spotlight 3 animated features in MIFF 68.5 this year, including Bombay Rose. The slums of Mumbai shine brightly in Gitanjali Rao's gorgeous handcrafted animation. To kill it and leave this town, from personal tragedy and political turmoil through 60s and 70s era Poland, comes Mariusz Wilczynski's decade-in-the-making memoir, a surreal bout of animated nightmare fuel, confessional, moving, and confronting. While in Anka Damian's poignant Morona's fantastic tale, a little dog looks back in a kaleidoscopic fashion through the hurt and the heart swell that has captured her days. Now, for those of you whose personal grooves on the couch are testament to eyes built strong, built steely, from epic bouts of bingery, may we suggest some amazing marathon works in the festival this year. One of the all-time documentarians, Steve James, returns with a 4-part, nearly 4-hour City So Real, a portrait of Chicago's recent mayoral election that is an ambitious, epically slanted portrait of a singular city from north to south, marginalized to elite, and a tangled microcosm of civic issues under the political microscope. It's a must-watch. To some, 4 hours might seem like a lot, but we know there are also some among you to whom 14 hours still isn't enough, that there are some cinephiles out there who gladly laugh in the face who would suggest that 90 minutes is an adequate runtime, who shake their fists in the direction of clocks, who guffaw more broadly at the concept of time as an abstract. And indeed, for those hardy cinephiles, we present Women Make Film, a new road trip through cinema. This has no more epic a project than a 14-hour journey into reshaping the canon of cinema itself through a journey that is celebratory, kaleidoscopic, and essential. 183 female directors come under the spotlight through 13 decades of cinematic discovery, and through collaborations with Tilda Swinton, Tandy Newton, and Jane Fonda, Mark Cousin's reckoning with the history of cinema is something truly alive with discovery. And from epic views to one-off streams, we are also proud to present our special previews, a series of first-look presentations available at specific session times throughout the festival, including On the Record. Oscar-nominated filmmakers Kirby Dick and Amy Ziering return to MIFF to continue their extraordinary work exposing ingrained and unexposed institutional cultures of sexual harassment and assault, here tackling head-on Drew Dixon's shocking revelations against hip-hop mogul and Def Jam co-founder Russell Simmons. We are also delighted to present Corpus Christi, nominated for Best Foreign Language Feature at this year's Oscars. Jan Kamas's film finds a young man on the lam impersonate a priest in a small town recovering from tragedy. It's a special film, one with a lot to say about the intersections of faith and redemption and community, amid some very thoughtful human drama, and we're thrilled to present it to MIFF audiences as one of this year's World Cinema highlights. Now let's check out a trailer.
Kiedy Bóg do nas mówi, czasami zdarza mi się popełnić jakiś grzech, jakieś zło. Czasami myślimy, że niemożliwe, żeby Bóg tak chciał.
W imię Ojca i Syna i Ducha Świętego. Amen. O której masz się stawić w stolarni?
O 16. Drugi koniec kraju jest, nie?
A co, pękasz? Dasz radę.
A co, nie macie gdzie spać w tej stolarni?
Jakiej stolarni?
A skąd jesteś?
Księdzem jestem.
To ja przedstawię.
Zaprowadzę do proboszcza, uciesz.
Gołąb Wojciech.
Ksiądz Tomasz.
Myślę, kto mógłby mnie zastąpić.
No ale co, mszę i wszystko?
I nie tylko.
Widziałem tablicę ze zdjęciami.
Bóg tak chciał. Bóg chciał zabić 7 osób?
Słyszałem, że ksiądz wypytuje o tego kierowcę. Ja nawet rozumiem ciekawość, tylko śledztwo jest już zamknięte.
Mam prawo rozmawiać z wiernymi o czym tylko chcę.
Żadne seminarium nie przyjmiecie z wyrokiem.
Pani Lidia to co nieco mi już księdzu opowiadała.
Tak?
Po co wszystko co?
Bo wiecie, w czym jesteśmy dobrzy? W skreślaniu. Wskazywaniu palcem. Wybaczyć to nie znaczy zapomnieć. Wybaczyć to kochać. Kochać kogoś pomimo jego winy. Jaka by nie była.
Proboszcz wrócił, naprawdę.
To MIFF's Shorts program. Our worldwide highlights include the Yorgos Lanthimos film Mimic, starring Matt Dillon as a professional cellist who has a strange encounter on the subway that threatens to upend his entire life. The winner of the short film Teddy Award, Playback, by Agostina Comedi, piecing together memories from La Dalpi, the last remaining member of a group of drag performers which underpinned the queer community throughout the AIDS crisis in 1980s Argentina. The Ghanaian-Belgian thriller from Anthony Inti, Dayi, which won Grand Prix at Clermont-Ferrand, follows best friends Prince and Matilda as the two children are led astray by a seemingly friendly foreigner. And Umbilical by Dansky Tang, an animated documentary that won a Silver Leopard at Locarno, which centers on the filmmaker's conversations with her mother, unraveling shared traumas and dreams. MIFF welcomes an extraordinary lineup to our all-seeing, all-judging shorts jury in 2020. We are delighted to welcome a triple threat of MIFF Festival ambassadors Rachel Griffiths, Chris Pang and Aaron Peterson, who will be judging MIFF's shorts this year. Our Shorts Awards are presented by Mountain Goat. Presented by University of Melbourne, MIFF Talks will also return this year to bring you speaking events unpacking some of the festival's big ideas, care of MIFF's virtual guests and speakers from Melbourne, Australia and beyond. We're also very excited about a very special event for 2020, the Death in Brunswick 30th Anniversary Virtual Table Read, directed by H's for Happiness's John Sheedy and co-presented with University of Melbourne and the Wheeler Centre. MIFF's Critics Campus turns a sprightly 7 years old in 2020, today continuing as a wonderful and singular initiative for emerging critics to connect, to train, to cut their teeth in a fast-moving festival context, and to realise professional development opportunities at MIFF. Our program returns as an online delivery geared with particular interest in the digital realm for 2020. We welcome all of our critic participants to Critics Campus. Congratulations to all. A reminder to our members that your exclusive pre-sale is available from the 14th to 16th July. And if you're yet to take up the mantle of MIFF membership, then what are you waiting for? Find all details for our upcoming program and digital platform access via miff.com.au. Thank you all for watching today, for your interest, for your support, for your curiosity in our program. I welcome you to our online festival, 6th to 23rd August, to whatever the comfiest seat in your house is, to next year when we will return. Our cinema screens will alight, we will be together again. We look forward to days where the only darkness comes from the cinema lights falling around us. We look forward to that. For now, for 2020, we'll meet you where you are. MIFF 68.5 is yours, with open arms, open eyes. We will see you online, through the screens, through the streams, all over Australia. Thank you for your support for all of it. I welcome you to MIFF 68.5.